State Champs Game Time Live is presented by Lawrence Technological University. State Champs Game Time Live is also brought to you by the Michigan Elite Volleyball Academy, the Michigan Army National Guard, and the Michigan High School Athletic Association.
Hello everyone and welcome to Game Time Live here on the State Champs Sports Network. My name is Ryan Slocum, as always, joined by Patty Cesarini. And Patty, we have a huge matchup for everybody at home tonight. A top 5 matchup between two arch rivals. It's Marian taking on Mercy, and we have a number of huge players out on the court as always, beginning with Sophia Smith.
Yeah, Sophia Smith, she's committed to go play at Boston College. She is a right side for Marian, and she is their go-to kid. She's got about just every shot you can think of in her toolkit, and she's going to pull out all the stops here tonight to try and take down Mercy.
Plenty of young players, but also some big names on the other side as well. Tell us about it.
Yeah, Kate Kelzinski, an outside for Mercy, committed to play at Ohio State. She's tall, she's lengthy, she's got the chop shot down the line. Another hitter who has just about every shot you can think of. Again, in that tool belt, she's going to use them all. They've got some size on them, Mercy does. So I'm very curious to see how this is going to play out against Marian. Marian's got a little size there too. Sophia Smith, she's a tall girl. It's going to be a good matchup tonight for sure.
Should be a good one, as it always is. The first matchup of the year between Mercy and Marian, and we'll bring it to you on Game Time Live right after this.
From our very first breath, curiosity is why we question everything through barrages of whys and how comes. It now needs the tools to will its vision into existence. Tools that will forever allow curiosity to obscure the line between technology and magic. Be curious. Make magic. Lawrence Technological University.
Every high school sporting event in the state of Michigan has one thing in common: officials. Every game, every meet, every match. Without officials, there'd be no touchdowns, no three-pointers, no face-offs. Without officials, there'd be no games. Officiating is a great way to give back to your community and stay involved with the sports you love. And officials are needed now more than ever, because without officials, it's just practice.
If playing college sports is your dream, don't wait for a college coach to find you. Recruit yourself. At Lawrence Tech, we're looking for student athletes. LTU competes in the NAIA with 24 varsity sports and athletic scholarships. Explore new degree programs like sport management, where sports meets cutting-edge education. Visit LTURecruitYourself.com and just fill out the questionnaire. It's that easy. Lawrence Technological University. Be curious. Make magic.
Hello everyone and welcome to Game Time Live here on the State Champs Sports Network, where we have a big-time volleyball matchup for you. It is 5th-ranked Mercy, the Marlins, taking on number 2 Marian. My name is Ryan Slocum, joined as always by Patty Cesarina. So glad you could be here with us today for this top 5 matchup. And Patty, as a former player yourself, what is it like when you go into your arch rival's gym and have to take them on?
You know what? There truly is just nothing like it. The adrenaline, the energy, the extra uptick of just you're getting a little bit more out of each of your teammates, out of yourself, out of the coaching staff. There's just always something more when you're playing against a huge rival.
And how about the crowd? We did this game last year during their first matchup. Another great crowd here tonight, and the students showing out as well.
That's always my favorite part, is always seeing what the Mercy High School students, what game day vibe fit that they're going for. And I have to say, I think last year, was it the Cowboys?
It might have been. I don't know if we had a flashing pink cowgirl hat, though. I don't know if we had one of those. We do today, though. So we are already off to a great start before they even serve it up here.
Oh, yeah, and Robbie's letting us know that he's putting it on. He's putting the hat on at some point. He's gonna get in there in that student section, and he's going to sport the pink cowboy hat.
Is that a promise? Because that's ratings bonanza is what I've been told. That's what that would be. Well, we are so glad that you are here with us again. Top 5 matchup between Division I powerhouses. Until last year when Northville won the state title, these two teams combined for the previous 5 state championships. They will try to get another one today. Right now, we'll send it to our public address announcer for prayer and national anthem.
We ask that you please remain standing for the playing of the Star Spangled Banner.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed as twilight's last gleaming, whose stars
All right, Patty. Well, Mercy won all 3 matchups a year ago between these two rivals. They had the Gatorade National Player of the Year in Campbell Flynn. Going to have to replace her. What do you see out of them so far? Both teams just 1 loss on the year. Tell us about Mercy and replacing Campbell Flynn and what they have.
You know, I think it's always hard to replace somebody of that caliber, but Kaylin Easton is stepping in, and she's stepping up as a freshman, and she sees the court really well. She knows how to feed her hitters. She can be aggressive in the front row when needed. So I'm really excited to just see her career unfold again. She's only a freshman, and to be a freshman on this Mercy varsity volleyball team, it's no joke. It's something serious. You know that she's good.
Yeah, and they have only 3 seniors on this team and a number of freshmen that you will see on the court today. Very interesting to see that, and they still have the number 5 ranking so far in our state champs poll. How about on the other side? A lot of young faces for them as well this year.
Young as well, and even their libero, she's a sophomore, Ashlyn Pilon. She was the libero at the state semifinal game last year, and coach said that she's only gotten more mature, more comfortable. Her composure and her consistency has drastically improved from last year. So again, just a young kid who's talented, and again, to be on the varsity team at Marian is also, it's a badge of honor when you're playing for two of the best programs, most notably known programs in the state of Michigan.
We're about to get introduced here to the home team, the Marian Mustangs. They are wearing the black jerseys with the blue numbers. Black jerseys on the other side for Mercy with the yellow numbers for those joining us at home. You mentioned when you talked to Coach Cook earlier in the week, I thought it was very interesting. The very first thing you brought up, they're 23-1 on the year, and we're only in the middle of September. Tell us about that and what you thought about that and how many games they have already played this early in the year.
Well, it's because they have such a large roster, and she wants to be able to see everybody play in that game environment. It's one thing to see your kids scrimmage in practice, but it's another to actually get them on the court against an opponent and play things out, and that's how she really starts to decide what her go-to starting lineup is going to be, who's going to be those kids that step up. And it's great for everybody to get reps, too, when you're playing 24 games. Just as you're pretty much halfway through September. It's impressive.
Well, and you're seeing it as we're getting introduced to the Mustangs here. 19 players on the roster. There are some injuries as well, and while we're here talking about it, let's do it right now. Number of injuries on both sides of the net here today, and they are some big-time names.
Kelly Lefevre, Meredith Martin, both out for Marian. That's going to hurt, but it also, I like to think of it as an opportunity for Quinn Nelson and Sophia Smith to really step up, elevate, and lead this team to a victory here tonight. They are their two go-to pin attackers. Again, they're going to have to be on tonight when you're missing two outstanding players. And then when you flip to the other side, when you look at Mercy, Ella Andrews, we had word that she was coming into this game as an injury, might have been a question mark. She is going to be playing tonight, so having her back and on this court is huge for Mercy. Stanford commit. She's probably going to play on the right side. That's the word that we got heading into the game. We'll see how things work out tonight.
Yeah, and you see her. She is number 13 with the yellow number on. Ella Andrews, Stanford commit, 6'4". That size, really big for Mercy. Coach told us that we got the work cut out for us because Mercy is a lot bigger than we are.
Yep, and that's why I mentioned it in the open that it's going to be interesting to see how the size game kind of plays out. But the way I look at it, if you can serve and pass and do it well, that's usually the difference maker when it comes to games like this. So whoever's going to win that serve and pass game, probably going to take the cake, and I think I even said that in our last broadcast too. It's huge.
Well, we will begin to find out in just 1 second. It's Mercy and Marian meeting for the first time this year. We told you they met 3 times a year ago, and it was Mercy taking all 3 of those matchups. Both teams come into this game with 1 loss on the year. Interesting enough, that 1 loss came to Bloomfield Hills for both teams. Marian actually beat Bloomfield Hills 2-0 on the 4th of September, and then they lost last week on 9/11, 3-0 in that matchup, but they did have the injuries during that game. So we will see how everything plays out here, as it is Marian about to serve it away for the first time. Allie Davison, the senior. And we are underway. Little miscommunication there on the opening point, Patty.
Well, it was a great pass from Hollier, and I like that Easton is trying to get Andrews involved early in the game. It was just a bit of a misconnection.
Out of the outside. Great dig there by Ashlyn Pilon. And this one is out of bounds, and it's 2-0. The home crowd loving what they're hearing right out of the gate.
You know, a great dig by Pilon, extending out to her right, picking up that deep corner ball, and then Nelson on the finish, driving deep into that cross-court corner.
Davison serving off again. Back to the outside it goes. That was Kate Kalzinski. And this one. A facial there, and it is now 3-0. The Mustangs putting on a show right away.
Great swing, able to get up, elevate, and even though it was a little bit tight, not afraid to just turn that one down the line.
A little dump over the top there by Easton. Now to the outside. Kalzinski just has to drop it over. Here comes Marian. Another dump, and it works. And that is Sophia Smith making it 4-zip.
And Smith did a good job of just reading the court, having that spatial awareness, noticing that that hairpin tip behind the block is going to be there. Be ready for her to mix up her shots.
To the outside again, Kate Kalzinski. This one goes long.
Just a little bit of some hand contact issues. It's going to force Mercy to take a timeout. They just look a little out of rhythm right now, really out of character for them, and I bet you that they're going to get things right in this huddle.
Get things calmed down for sure. You know, Allie Davison came in, 51 aces on the year, a superb server. But this time, her teammate is getting it all done for her. They have a 5-0 lead right out of the gate. Hey, at Lawrence Technological University, your vision of competing in scholarship-level college athletics can be your reality. LTU offers varsity sports for men and women while studying for a world-class undergraduate degree. Scholarships are available at LTURecruitYourself.com. So Allie's just parking herself back there. 5 in a row to begin this one. This time, it goes in there. We just told you, make it 52 aces on the year is that one. Just inside the line.
She's gotten herself into a really nice groove on the back line and really attacking Mercy's serve receive.
Little joust at the net. Now to the outside. Quinn Nelson looking for the point. This ball's still alive. Nelson again, she is blocked. Now it's Andrews, but a block on the other end. London Gibson, the 6'1 sophomore, keeping a donut on the board.
And I really, again, I like that Mercy's trying to force the middle in that situation. It's just a matter of really being able to carve around Gibson.
There's Kalzinski, the junior outside hitter, heading to Ohio State, as you said at the beginning, and she finally gets Mercy on the board.
And for Marian, Kalzinski is not a player that you want to let heat up in this game. You want to keep her out of a rhythm, and they're actually going to give it back to Marian. We have, I believe, a net violation on Easton.
So instead of 7-1, it is now 8-0 for the home team. Finally, that one goes long for Allie, and now 8-1. And it's side out Mercy. The Fish taking over for the first time. Kate Berghoff. Great dig on the back end. Cree Hollier. Cree Hollier, another name we're probably going to be saying quite a bit. She's been a middle her entire career, moved to the outside. that one is long. Side out now for the Mustangs.
Mercy's just really struggling to get into a rhythm. They finally get on the service line, and then you get a missed serve, and Marian's taking advantage of this situation that they're in right now.
This is Quinn Nelson sending it away, and that one long as well.
But you know what? At the same rate, it's like you'll take it because both teams are trying to serve aggressive because they know what each other's hitters are capable of. And the more that you can pull or force another team to pass along the 10-foot line or behind the 10-foot line, it's only going to force them to play more out-of-system volleyball and make it easier for your team to dig.
Ella Andrews, number 13, is into this game from Mercy. To the outside, nice block there. It's Kelzinski and Hollier, and Sanaya Tucker sending it back. 9-4 now.
And Tucker did a really good job of closing all the way out to Kelzinski, and they both went up at the same time, pressed in low over the net, and got the block.
Easton serve goes into the net.
And now keep an eye out. Ella Andrews now in the mix for Mercy, playing on the right side.
Number 13 standing over there next to number 10, Sanaya Tucker. There was Andrews, but the pass gets away, and that'll make it 11-4 for the home team.
An aggressive serve from Pilon gets Mercy a little out of whack, out of system, and then Andrews didn't realize that there was nobody on the right side that can put that ball back over the net.
So down the middle. To the outside, and that is going to be another point for the home team. Once again, Sophia Smith.
It was a great eye from Smith, seeing that Hollier was cheating over towards her line. She saw it, picked it up, and then went deep cross with it.
Pilon sends it over. Now down the middle. Good setup to Kelzinski. No chance at that one. She hammers it home.
Does a really good job of carving outside of the block, kind of in that seam. And Pilon was just a step away, but Kelzinski gets a lot of pace on the volleyball.
19 kills against Toledo Notre Dame a couple of days ago. Here she is on the serve. It's Smith. Good job keeping that one alive. Now to the outside. And that one goes into the net. Mercy, like you said, Patty, a little out of sorts still.
Yeah, it just looks like they're trying to do maybe a little too much, force some things that they don't really need to, but I love the defensive effort from both teams right now.
So here's Smith with the serve. Over here on the right side, it is Andrews, and it is down.
Yeah, great shot, tagging the back line, going deep into zone 1, that 1-6 seam. She's a kid that's going to elevate, hit at a really high point. She's got a heavy arm, too, so the block needs to take low and pressed over. Force her to hit over you because you're not going to want to get tooled.
So here's one of those super freshmen on the serve, goes long. That is Sanaya Tucker, 6'2" freshman. One of those youngsters, coach told us, never in their wildest dreams did they think they'd be in the position that the three of them are in, but here they are, and they haven't missed a beat.
Yeah, she was almost going to play at the right side, but because of some injuries, she's now playing in the middle.
How about that serve right there off the net, just drops over, and it's another point, Claire Rayon.
And you know, Coach said when we were talking to Marian's head coach, she said, I get a lot of compliments on our serving. People say we're a really good serving team. They're showing that right now.
Absolutely. Here comes Mercy. And that one tipped and drops right in the middle, and it'll be a side out for the Fish.
The set was just a little high for Andrews. You could tell she started to take off in her approach, had to slow down, stop, regather herself and was able to get up. Her height is where that comes into play and really is an advantage, and then gets the tips of the block.
And Anida now with the serve. Little joust at the net, and that's going to be won by the Fish. Mercy cuts this lead down to 7 at 15-8.
Hollier's got the hops. She's got those bunnies. After talking to Coach, she said she can jump out the gym, and when it comes to a joust, whoever can have their hands on the volleyball the longest is going to win, and I don't know if I'd want to go up against a joust with Hollier.
Right. Now to the outside. That one's hammered. No call yet. Everybody's pointing at each other. Quinn Nelson was the one that fired it down the line.
They're saying it was outside of the antenna.
So that means it is a point for the Marlins. Mercy now finds themselves down just 6. And that serve goes long, so it'll be back over to the home team side. 16-9 now, 7-point lead after jumping out to that 7-0 lead. Joel Mayo comes in, and the junior will send it away. Right down the middle is Kalzinski. And that is off the net and out of bounds.
You see her flying out of the back row. Just looked like the set was a little low. Kind of an awkward arm swing. It hits the tape and ricochets out of bounds.
Great job there by Easton to keep that alive. And how about that? It's Cree Hollier. Right. Showing off the jump out of the gym strength that we know she has in those legs.
It was a great swing. Again, just able to elevate and get on top. It was a tight, out-of-system ball, but she makes it work and isn't afraid to swing and power through Marian's block.
Here she is on the serve. Nice little dump there by Davison. This time to the outside. Kalzinski. When you set her up, good luck.
Yeah, and then that time, Kalzinski read the situation, read the block really well. Davison couldn't get all the way out to the pin and close, so she just goes right outside of her and nails this one in the 1-6 seam.
Little dump, great job there. Mercy keeps it alive. Once again, Nelson making things happen.
Nelson does a good job of really reaching that on that ball. It was a little outside in front of her, but gets close enough, gets her feet there enough, so she's still able to get a swing on it and lands right in that donut area.
Here's Kate again, but it is blocked. Sent right back at her. London Gibson.
Gibson and Smith just put up an absolute wall right there. Great block, great press, close, all the things that you really love to see.
There's always help wanted when it comes to high school game officials. Every year, over 1,000 new officials are needed. Officiating is a great way to stay in shape, stay close to the game, and so much more. Log on to MHSAA.com for more information. Yeah, you've said it. We've seen it a couple of times now where they're putting up a wall, and good luck getting by them. Gibson standing 6'1", that middle blocker, and she's getting some help as well.
And it all started from the service line, putting a lot of pressure. Marian built this lead from the ground up, from point 1, just attacked things on the service end and allowed themselves to get that nice little cushion, but they're not taking their foot off the gas either.
And it was Allie Davison who started the game serving, and here she is again.
Yeah, if you're Mercy, you want to get out of this rotation ASAP.
Ball sent back over to Marian. Here they come. And that was going to be a point once again. It is Quinn Nelson.
Nelson was able to go thumb down, created that super sharp shot where you even saw Kelzinski got caught a little bit off guard, and it's in that tricky spot where do you want your off blocker to take it or do you want Berghoff to take it at the libero?
And that's going to be trouble. The bump goes just over the net, and Marian sends it right back at him. Just like that, that lead back to 10.
It's all, again, Davison, and I'm telling you, Mercy, they want to just get a nice high ball high in the middle of the court where they can set up one of their 2 pins and get the side out, or that'll work too.
That'll work too. Hit one a little long. Here you go.
But in that situation, to continue my last thought, when you know you're going up against a really tough server, you just tell your passers, hey, do what you can. Don't try to do too much. Get a nice high ball in the center of the court so we can at least go pin to pin with it.
Here comes another one of those freshmen, Kate Berghoff. And it'll be a point for Marian as the serve. A little wide. So here comes Quinn Nelson. Didn't play volleyball last year. And here she is. Making noise. How about that serve? Making some noise here for the number 2 team in the state. And that'll be an ace, and now they're just 2 points away from taking this first frame.
Yeah, she had an interesting story, you know, because she tried out at a school prior to finding out that Marian had accepted her where she wanted to go. And because she tried out, she couldn't play for Marian last year, but she said it was worth it to sit and learn and watch this team.
And she is doing major damage here in the first set. That one from Kate Kelzinski goes off the net. It is now 24-12. The Mustangs looking to wrap this thing up.
And again, Smith and Gibson really just getting all the way out to that pin and putting a lot of pressure on Kelzinski.
Outside to Kelzinski. How about the dig there by Pilon? And that is going to be put down. I believe that was inbounds. No, they're saying it's long, so it'll be Mercy ball. Inside out. Caitlin Easton. Down 24-13. Here in set number 1. That one knocked down by Kelzinski. Tucker there as well.
Mercy just taking advantage of the situation, the overpass, and then the ability to just go up, get it, hammer it home, and just start chipping away here at this Marian lead.
Easton serving again. Down the middle it comes, and it's London Gibson wrapping up this first set, 25-14. Marian does it from start to finish, Patty.
And I love that they went to Gibson to end the set, show some, dominance, setting your middle. You're comfortable with her. She's able to get up, put the ball away, and that is how you end a set on a high note. From start to finish, that set was all Marian.
Marian takes set number 1 from Mercy. We'll have set number 2 coming up right after this.
From our very first breath, curiosity is why we question everything through barrages of whys and how comes. It now needs the tools to will its vision into existence. Tools that will forever allow curiosity to obscure the line between technology and magic. Be curious. Make magic. Lawrence Technological University.
Every high school sporting event in the state of Michigan has one thing in common: officials. Every game, every meet, every match. Without officials, there'd be no touchdowns, no three-pointers, no face-offs. Without officials, there'd be no games. Officiating is a great way to give back to your community and stay involved with the sports you love. And officials are needed now more than ever, because without officials, it's just practice.
If playing college sports is your dream, don't wait for a college coach to find you. Recruit yourself. At Lawrence Tech, we're looking for student athletes. LTU competes in the NAIA with 24 varsity sports and athletic scholarships. Explore new degree programs like sport management, where sports meets cutting-edge education. Visit LTURecruitYourself.com and just fill out the questionnaire. It's that easy. Lawrence Technological University. Be curious. Make magic.
Welcome back in, Coach. What a statement you made in that first set. How about the service of your team?
That was the one main thing we've been focusing on all week is we've got to win the serve and serve receive game. And if we do that, all the cards should fall in our favor. And so far, that went our way.
We know you have a good opponent on the other side. How are you going to keep them contained in that second set?
Continue to pick on our serving targets and put them in compromised situations and get good touches on the block and just continue to out-hustle.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
All right, Robbie Elliott there with the interview of Coach Cook. Appreciate that, Robbie. And yes, Patty, that was something Coach emphasized. I believe the very first thing she said to us, well, the key to this game is serve receive. Holy smokes, they did it right out of the gate.
They did. They passed extremely well, and then she mentioned in her interview, go after our serving targets, and they're doing just that. They picked on Berghoff a little bit, that freshman libero playing for the first time in this rivalry game, maybe trying to see if the nerves are going to get the best of her. So now let's see how this Mercy serve receive is going to respond.
Well, absolutely. Coach Vogel been there 16 years. You know, she knows what she's doing. She'll get her girls ready for set number 2 after falling to Marian, 25-14 in the first. If you're just joining us, we appreciate it. My name is Ryan Slocum, joined by Patty Cesarini for a huge matchup here in Division I volleyball. It's 5th-ranked Mercy visiting their rival, number 2 Marian, meeting for the first time this season. Mercy, the Marlins, will serve it here. They are in the maroon, or I should say black, with the yellow numbers with the maroon outline, and that's the start they were looking for. Kate Berghoff, the freshman, with the ace. Home team are the Mustangs from Marian. They are in the black jerseys with blue numbers.
That's a good start for Mercy, being aggressive on the service line and giving Marian a taste of their own medicine.
So Berghoff, freshman, sends it away again. To the outside we go, little dump. And that works. It is Quinn Nelson. And Patty, you were talking about Quinn and about the kind of crazy story she had about not playing last year, transfer, tried to come over here. Also, Coach told us she hasn't played, and now she's out there hitting like Ava Brizard. Yeah, if you're hitting like a Miss Volleyball, that's pretty darn good. That is quite the compliment there.
It sure is, and if you look at her last attack, she knew that she had 4 hands in her face, and instead of trying to barrel through that, she just was smart and went high over the block with a nice tip, being able to read the situation, and I think she's showcased her ability to mix up her shots so far.
And speaking of hitting hard, Kate Kalzinski with the kill on that last, and now we have the ace from Easton. Great start, exactly what they were looking for if you are a Mercy Marlin, up 3-1 now. And we've got a lift. So the Fish will keep it. And their student section, they're trying to get a little fired up over there. They got the Cowgirls going today. Packed house here at Bloomfield Hills Marian. Easton serving again. And that was once again Quinn Nelson.
That one squeaks through on an out-of-system set. Her timing was great, able to get up and, again, just kind of squeak that one through, and this will be a serving error for Nelson.
Yeah, Nelson with the kill on the point before this time. It goes OB. So here comes Kate Kalzinski, the junior, committed to Ohio State over the summer. And there she is with the dig in the back. Coming down the middle, fires it over. Same result on the other end. And that one is going to be out of bounds. And once again, Mercy shown to fight. They have a 4-point lead, their biggest of the evening.
And that time Murray was trying to go for the tool, but just missed the hands of Andrews and Spites.
Great job there. Hitting the turf is the freshman.
And they called a
and
lift.
It's going to be a lift, yeah.
Bummer. That means Kalzinski must have had her hand, I don't know, maybe open as she tried to pop the ball up.
Yeah, it went off Berghoff, made the dig, and then Kalzinski, they say, lifted it, so it's side out for Marian, and we have another whistle.
I just don't think Marian got a little too excited on the service line.
Coach is still questioning there a little bit, I believe, on the last call. We'll get this all straightened out. You see.
But you see how the tables have turned just a little bit in terms of serve receive here. Now Mercy is putting the pressure on Marian from the service line, getting him out of system, and you'll see Kalzinski, she's the captain, so she's the messenger, running back and forth, and then you can see one of the assistant coaches holding
trying to pull Coach back, laughing as we're doing it. Well, Kalzinski,
you might
look
not
like you're going to win that battle.
No, and you might not get the point out of it, but it's more so just trying to get your point across.
That's right. It might help you for next time. This is Pilon serving up the ace. You know, Coach said with her, the 3 C's. I don't know if she meant to say it like that, but confidence, composure, and consistency.
Right. She's showing that tonight, and they're attacking between Hollier and Berghoff. But wow.
They weren't stopping that one.
Nope, because now you're seeing Andrews. She's not a right side anymore. They put her back in as the middle, hoping to get a little something going here, putting her in her natural spot, and she showed that just now.
Yeah, that one got going, and it got going down very fast. The Fish have a 7-4 lead, and here is Ella Andrews with the serve. Down the middle now, and how about that one? Little drop over. That's Jayla Zadie.
Smart play by Zadie, knowing that you have a middle and Andrews playing out of left back, so that donut ball is going to be a little bit easier to attack when you know you've got a middle who isn't as familiar, let's put it that way, or comfortable defending.
Sophia Smith sending it away. Beautiful serve, but coming right back at them. And once again, they're attacking that middle. That was Mackenzie Andrews.
Well, that was a great pass by Berghoff, just being able to angle her platform on a really tough serve. And then Andrews able to get up on the B and put the ball away. And now you're starting to see a little bit of some spunk, a little bit of some fire from Mercy.
No question about it. Anna Nida now. Another great serve, and that's trouble. Cree went up there to try to get it. And here she is. Little bump over. And a great dig in the back end by Kalzinski. Cree Hollier putting it down. And they are fired up, jumping off the bench. Mercy feeling it for the first time tonight.
Because that was an insane shot. That is one of the hardest shots to make. A little bit easier when you can jump out of the gym like Holly A can. No, I'm not kidding. But seriously, her ability to cut the ball, go so sharp, thumb down with it, is really impressive.
How about that from the back end? Once again, we've been saying her name all night, Quinn Nelson.
She does a really good job of eyeing that open spot. In those back row attack scenarios, typically you like to have your 3 defenders straight across, but you saw that Easton was cheating up just a hair, and then Kelzinski was pulled over to the left side just a little bit too much.
That ball may be trouble. Joust, no, it's not trouble at all. Mercy wins it, and they get the side out. Cree Hollier now going back to serve.
And Mercy's done a good job, even throughout the first set, being really aggressive on the joust balls and the overpasses that they're able to get overpass kills on.
And once again, look at them jumping off the bench. They're excited, opened up a 5-point lead, and we have a timeout. Patty, what's changed here?
Well, from the jump, again, I talked about the serve and pass game. Mercy's really stepped things up defensively, and then also in the serve receive, but also on the service line. They're putting a lot of pressure on Marian, and what you're seeing really is Mercy speeding up Marian, making them really uncomfortable right now, forcing them to play too fast for what they like.
Michigan Elite Volleyball Academy is the presenting sponsor for State Champs Volleyball Player of the Year Award. Consistency develops players at the highest levels of amateur volleyball. For more, please visit mielite.com. You can also cast your vote for the top 10 at statechampsnetwork.com. Well, everything that was going wrong, it seems to be going right now for Mercy. It's the senior. Oh, and they are waving that one off. Not quite set, I don't believe.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before. And I've played a lot of volleyball, but
was it fans on the court? He came from the opposite side, waving at the opposite corner. Well, anyway, we're back in action. Here comes Marian. Once again, the outside hitter. It's Quinn Nelson.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say the sophomore's doing everything right now.
And it is a really good idea from Davison, pulling Nelson in on more of a 32 ball, changing up her point of attack to give her just more options and then kind of trick out Mercy's block.
Over to the outside, Kate Kelzinski this time dumps it. They thought it hit the ground. It did not, so we are still going. This one does, and now they say it did touch the ground finally. So let's make sure we're straight here. Looks like it's going to be side out for the Fish.
The rivalry games will do it to you. You want to, beg, borrow, and steal isn't the right term for it, but like you're scratching and you're clawing for every single point that you can get.
It's Berghoff. This one into the net, and how about that one?
Sometimes you just get a little lucky, and that time Berghoff got lucky, just popped it right off the tape. And believe it or not, those are things that you practice too. No kidding. You tell your players, hey, now we're going to try some serving where I want you to hit the tape. I want this ball to dribble over.
Robbie Elliott says put a little stank on that one, and that's 2 in a row. Another ace.
Berghoff putting a lot of pressure on Marian's serve receive right now, but they just got to settle in again, just get something going, get a nice high pass where you can at least get some offensive attackers in rhythm.
This one goes long. Just going to say the score was doubled up, but that point will go to the Mustangs. 14-8 now. And here she is, Allie Davison now. Been doing tons of damage with the serve, trying to do it again. To the outside, Kelzinski has to dump it over. Now to the middle. Nice dig there by Nida. Another one in the back end by Monroe. Another incredible. It's the freshman Berghoff. Can't get to that one. And after a great rally, the point goes to the Mustangs.
Yeah, great rally, great defensive effort, but I love that they went to Gibson in that scenario. They got a good pass, was able to set her up, and she carves it thumb down right at Berghoff.
Out of bounds, and once again, magic happening with the senior, Allie Davison.
Well, for Marian, these are the rotations that you want to capitalize on. Keep her on the service line as much as possible. And here's another ace for Davison. We were just saying we wish we had, you know, the thing with high school sports is like we need a stat keeper. We need some sort of online stat thing. And gosh, I would love to know right now how many aces she has. She's been on fire.
Hey, there's always help wanted every year when it comes to high school game officials. Over 1,000 new officials are needed. Officiating is a great way to stay in shape, stay close to the game, and so much more. You can become official. Log on to MHSAA.com for more information. Well, that's where they have done the most damage so far today, no question about it. Allie Davison, 51 aces coming into this game. Got them out to an 8-0 lead, I believe, in the first set. She's come back in here 3 in a row now. This rotation doing all the work for Marian as they've cut this lead now, Patty, down to 3.
And it gives you a lot of confidence, too, knowing that you're forcing Mercy to play more out-of-system volleyball when Davison is on the back line. Makes your defense feel comfortable when you have to go up against Kelzinski and Ella Andrews.
And that's a second serve in a row. The bottom just dropping right out of it. That sets up the outside, but how about the block, Kate Kelzinski?
And that was a big answer, and both Kelzinski and Andrews knew exactly where the ball was going. They set up shop and pressed their hands over to get a good stuff block.
How much does a block help you momentum-wise when
Oh,
you've given
everything.
up a few in a row?
It's everything.
Easton, serve goes long. So just like that, it goes back over side out
And great
to the home
serve.
squad.
Great serve from Easton, but what really helped out Marian there was that their serve receivers actually followed the ball all the way back to the line. It was a close call, but Monroe does a good job putting her back foot on the back line.
And back the other way we go. Quinn Nelson's serve goes long. So it will be Kelzinski.
And now Kelzinski's in the back row, but they like to run her out of the back row. So Gibson is going to have to keep an eye out for all of her attackers because there's a fourth option right now.
Gibson tried to send it home. She was blocked this time. Just dumps it over, and it works. London Gibson, the sophomore middle. 25 blocks coming into this game, and this one really blew you away talking to the coach. She jumps 9-11 on the outside. Somehow, Marian keeps it alive, but down the middle comes Andrews. And a little dump. How about that one by Hollier?
When you get into those long rallies, if you can extend, pull your arm all the way back and really fake it, like you're going to swing, and then at the last second just pull the trigger and go up and give it a light tap and give him that hairpin tip, it is killer. And that time, Davison was just caught.
We talked about jumps. How about this? Cree is only 5'9", jumps 10-2.
I'm jealous.
I'm jealous. 17-year-old me's jealous, showing it off again. And that's why she was the middle that they moved to the outside.
And I think what's even more impressive, too, is not only how high she can jump, but her ability to pass as a middle. That is not very common. You don't find that too often, that you can really turn a middle blocker into a 6th rotation outside hitter.
She'll be playing at Austin P next fall. Here comes Ella. To the outside, Sophia drops it over. And again, Cree drops it. Once again, 3 in a row. It's 19-13.
Going all off speed right now is Hollier, finding any tips. And that time the set was pushed real far outside the pin. She had no other choice. And that's one, if you're Marian, that's a gimme. You know that she's going to tip the ball or it's going to be some sort of junk. You've got to be able to play it and then return with something that's really aggressive.
Michigan Elite Volleyball Academy presenting our State Champs Volleyball Player of the Year Award. Consistency develops players at the highest levels of amateur volleyball. For more, visit mielite.com. You can also cast your vote for the top 10 for the award at statechampsnetwork.com. So a game of runs so far. We've had Davison doing it with the serve, and now to make it 19-13, Cree Hollier getting it done. 3 in a row for her, with Ella Andrews serving it up. Didn't know if Ella would play in this game. She is, and she is making her presence felt. To the outside, and that ball is hammered home. Cecilia Murray.
That was a phenomenal swing by Murray, able to come across, wait for that ball to get all the way to the pin, and then smoke it down the line. It was a great set from Davison.
Sophia Smith now. The heartbeat of this team for Marian. Here is Cree Hollier again. No stopping her.
Really good out-of-system swing, able to get up and elevate, but for Marian, that's one where you have to have your hands pressed over the net. We've got a perfect view of it here, and that time it would have been a different story had their hands been fully pressed over that net.
And Anida serving with a 20-14 lead here in the second. Yeah, Smith had to reach way back to try to get that one over. Couldn't get it done off the tape, and drops on the Marian side.
Little early, overran it a little bit. Just need to side out and get back to business.
Here comes Marian again, and once again, Cecilia Murray.
Murray, now that's 2 back-to-back where she's going after the line. So if you're Mercy, and when you have Easton up in the front row, she's a little bit shorter, so it's smart and it makes sense for Marian to push the ball to their outside to attack the shortest blocker. But Easton also has to make sure that she gets all the way to that pin and closes that block, closes the line off.
Little dump there by Easton as that ball was about to go over the net. Mercy keeping it alive. Cree again, and it's long this time. Hollier has been unstoppable here for about the last 10 minutes of this match. Finally slowed down. Her team leads it though, 21-16. Now to the outside one more time. Marian believes that ball was tipped. It's Quinn Nelson going for the kill. The officials say no. So it's side out for Mercy, and it will be Cree Hollier. And her serve is long. Back and forth we go. Marian's got some ground to make up here as London Gibson checks back in.
Marian just double checking who their server is because they don't want to get called out of rotation. You never do, but especially not in this situation where you're down a couple points. That's an easy gimme. So they're having the down ref just double check and make sure that they've got all the ducks in a row.
And it looks like they do, so it'll be Joelle Mile. Great block. Once again, Gibson there, and again. Marian needed a boost. They got a big one there. Gibson strong at that net.
Yeah, and Hollier a little too strong on the pass on over and just went a little bit long. Those are gimmies you don't want to give.
Once again, Quinn Nelson. She's been hammering it home. Does it again here. We have a 3-point game as Marian trying to take a 2-0 lead in this rivalry matchup. And we have a timeout for Mercy trying to slow down this rally.
And Smith, that was all her right there. Or Nelson, that was all Nelson in that play. She plays up the off-blocker ball. And then Davison notices that she can't get all the way off to transition to the pin, so she sets her on an inside ball. Nelson able to transition just enough to give her a runway and put the ball away.
22-19. Mercy looking to even this thing up as the faithful going crazy over there in the stands. Gotta love this atmosphere. We've said it a couple of times already. Absolutely incredible between these two rival schools. Always Division I favorites. They combined to win 5 state titles in a row. 3 straight for Marian, 20, 21, and 22. And then they were sandwiched by state championships from the Marlins in 19 and 23. Back in action now. Mayo sends it over. Outside to Kelsinski. It's kept alive, but blocked right at the net. Kelsinski again, and I believe Mackenzie Andrews there as well.
It was a great read by Kelsinski. Seeing that Davison was going to go up and try to turn on 2, and she was there. She knows that the setter's up, and you got to be on your toes. And for Kelsinski, Davison is her attacker in this scenario.
Kate Berghoff, the freshman, serving, trying to put this away. They go outside, and there is the freshman. Great dig. And that is going to be out of bounds. Andrews wanted a violation, not going to get it, and it'll be a side out for Marian.
First, it was Gibson with the middle attack, and then Mercy fires back with Andrews.
And it's Davison serving. Outside to Quinn. Kept alive by Nida. Quinn sends it over. It's deflected and drops.
The defensive hustle is off the charts right now, and this is the kind of stuff that you expect to see in a rivalry game like this. But the star of the show, as of the moment, is Nelson and her ability to really attack the hands of Mercy's block.
It's sent out to Andrews, and that ball is down. It finds the line in the back.
Andrews going high off those hands. Again, she's so tall. She's got a high reach and a touch point. That's some bread and butter stuff. When you need quick, easy points, they're trying to close out this set, attack the hands of the blockers, and get those deflections.
Easton serving to win the set. And that ball put down once again. London Gibson
I love the slide run, the decision to switch some things up, because recently, and what Marian has been doing a lot of is keeping Gibson in front, but I love that they ran her on a slide. It really spreads out your offense.
24-22. This has been a great second frame, and it's Quinn Nelson looking to keep her team alive. Down the middle, Kalsinski says, no ma'am. Sends it home, and it is Mercy evening this up at one set apiece, 25-22.
That was a great set. Great to see how Mercy bounced back, brought a little fire into set 2, and now we move on to set 3. I don't know, again, this is anybody's game. This is two really good teams who are just going back and forth, and it's always a game of adjustments as you go from set to set. So it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen in set 3.
So after dropping the first frame, Mercy comes back to even it up at one apiece. We will have the third set coming up right after this.
From our very first breath, curiosity is why we question everything through barrages of whys and how comes. It now needs the tools to will its vision into existence. Tools that will forever allow curiosity to obscure the line between technology and magic. Be curious. Make magic. Lawrence Technological University.
Every high school sporting event in the state of Michigan has one thing in common: officials. Every game, every meet, every match. Without officials, there'd be no touchdowns, no three-pointers, no face-offs. Without officials, there'd be no games. Officiating is a great way to give back to your community and stay involved with the sports you love. And officials are needed now more than ever, because without officials, it's just practice.
If playing college sports is your dream, don't wait for a college coach to find you. Recruit yourself. At Lawrence Tech, we're looking for student athletes. LTU competes in the NAIA with 24 varsity sports and athletic scholarships. Explore new degree programs like sport management, where sports meets cutting-edge education. Visit LTURecruitYourself.com and just fill out the questionnaire. It's that easy. Lawrence Technological University. Be curious. Make magic.
Well, I am with the Mercy student section. The people who make this event go wild. First off, can you guys just let me know your theme?
Our theme is Saddle Up!
Do I fit in? Do I fit in?
Yeah, you fit in.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, who comes up with the themes during the week?
We do! All of us!
All right, so I'm a little confused, though. This isn't your gym yet. Your student section showed up a little bit more than Marian's. You guys just care a little bit more?
We care a lot more! They're just a little scared! Ah!
Back to you guys.
Look at Robbie starting trouble over there.
He's stirring the pot.
Yeah, he's definitely
Big
stirring the
time.
pot. I'm a little upset he didn't steal one of those horses, though. I got to be honest. I'm a little upset there. But I like the theme. You're facing the Mustangs in their gym, so you come in here saddling up.
You know, it's kind of ironic, you know, because they when you talk about cars and stuff, you talk about horsepower and like the Mustangs, like all that, you know. Is that what the vibe you were trying to give us, Robbie, or am I going crazy? Or
No, I got that vibe.
okay, all right, you feeling us? Good job out there, Robbie.
Well,
Loving the energy.
Mercy definitely did saddle up there in the second. Tell us the difference between set number 1 and set number 2, Patty.
Well, again, the bread and butter, it always goes down to that serve and pass, but then on top of that, Mercy did a really good job of just establishing their block, and I think they out-blocked Marian in the set, and then they got more aggressive in the front row and in their attacking. They weren't making as many errors. Let's see where set 3 takes us.
Davison again starting things off with the serve. They go outside to Ella Andrews. And it's Andrews, 6'4" at the net, and they say a violation on the block. She can't believe it, but it's Marian.
Again, Nelson just attacking Easton's block, using that outside hand to get the tool.
Set up again for Andrews. Now to the other side. Kelzinski, and again, huge block. Sophia Smith there, along with London Gibson, putting it right back at him.
I have no words for that. I have no words for that. You could see just how far Smith had her hands over the net. There was no way that ball was getting through.
Here comes Kelzinski. She drops it over. Here's Smith. Into the middle. And dropped it right in there. The diving Cree Hollier couldn't get there.
And Smith's block from the play before forced Kelzinski to switch something up, so she goes for the tip. That's an easy dig. Then they set her back up, and she goes in with a little off speed right in the donut.
And once again, it's Davison getting a 3-0 lead out of the gate. Ella Andrews, nice dig there by Davison to stop it. Hollier can't get there. It's now 4-0.
Mustangs off to a hot start. I'll tell you what. And who's on the service line right now?
Seems like every time, and we've got a quick timeout. They're not letting this get to 8-0 like it did in the first set.
No, that was a great move by Mercy, calling that early timeout, trying to cut that run off as soon as possible.
Yeah, Allie Davison been getting it done for her team. Hey, you can get it done. We need some help. There's always help needed when it comes to high school game officials. Every year, over 1,000 new officials are needed. Officiating is a great way to stay in shape. You can stay close to the game and a whole lot more. If you'd like to be an official, you can log on to MHSAA.com for more information. And we appreciate our officials in every single sport, taking time out of their day so these kids can have the time of their lives here in high school. Great matchup here. Number 2, Marian. Number 5, Mercy. Both teams coming in with just one loss on the year. Davison has not lost too much on the service game today. This is Kelzinski, and it's in there. And now Mercy is on the board for the first time in this third set.
That's the same play that they ended the second set with, having Kelzinski come out of middle back out of the serve receive and run that 5, that high ball up the middle. And she's really good at it, and it's easier for an outside to do that when you only have one blocker. You can go to the left or to the right.
Now to the middle, dumped over. Ella Andrews says no, ma'am. Knocks it back at him, and it's 4-2. Kaylin Eason back there serving now.
And it looks like just tried to force something that maybe wasn't the right play, forced Nelson to just go over with a two-hand dump, but it was too low in the end.
Down the middle, no chance that time.
That is a great swing, a lot of power on it, and I love it. Giving that 5 ball back, and it is so effective when you can move your attackers around, and again, coming out of the middle for your outside where she only has one blocker instead of 2.
Quinn Nelson serving, had 15 kills against Bloomfield Hill, 16 against Eisenhower. And that player right there knows a little bit about kills. That is Kate Kelzinski.
And Kelzinski now showing what she could do on the right side, just absolutely barreling this ball down the line. Left her a little too much of the line was Nelson, and Kelzinski takes advantage of it.
Here she goes, serving it away. It goes long, so back over to Marian on the side out. They have a 6-3 lead to begin this third set. Ashlyn Pilon, the sophomore, who's made a huge leap from a year ago. She serves it away. Down the middle, Andrews. What are you going to do about that?
Absolutely nothing. I like the idea of running her behind just on a quick little C right behind Easton. She gets up and is able to turn that ball back to zone 1.
And after being injured, not playing for a little while, she's starting to feel it now.
Oh, yeah. She's feeling pretty good.
Ella Andrews with the serve. Good grief. You said, what are you going to do about that? What are you going to do about a serve like that?
Well, what Mercy does really well, and you saw it in the second set too, is they force their opponent to speed up. Oh, see, you even get a little bit of a Brazilian timeout. That's what we call that, when you untie the shoe and then tie it back up. Oh, yeah, we've all done it before. There's no denying that. But to finish my last thought, Mercy does a good job of speeding their opponent up, and that's exactly what's happening right now.
The bottom just falls out of that for the second time. Pilon can't do anything. She was just frozen.
And when you can have your middle on the service line like this to rattle off a couple of points, it's huge because theoretically you're down your best defender right now with Berghoff on the bench as she serves. So to be able to, fight off a couple of points here, it's big.
Sophia Smith blocked. They're going back to her. Not blocked this time. It's down. Smith with the kill.
And that time on the second attempt, Smith goes high over the top of the block and just drops it. You saw the difference in trajectory of the ball. It had a little bit more of that high looping arc, just a little bit, enough to get it into deep zone 5.
Outside, and it's the other Andrews earning the point.
On the miss hit, too. That, when you see that from a middle, when you kind of get that backspin, that's the good old paintbrush. That's what we call it.
That's Mackenzie Andrews. The sophomore coach calls young but effective. Anna Nida sends it away. Here comes the home team. This ball goes long. Cecilia Murray can't get it in. So the Marlins of Mercy have now taken the lead for the first time in this third set.
That's still a great swing, though. It was just long. Those are the ones that you're okay with.
Great job there by Smith. Wants a call, not going to get it. And Mercy keeping the serve here. Anna Nida, the sophomore. Another one of these young Marlins. Sent to the back. That ball long from Mackenzie Andrews. Officials looking at each other. And Andrews is going to win that one. Ball was tipped by the Mustangs. And now the Marlins making a run. They're up 10-7.
Regardless, either outcome of the point, that was a great swing by Andrews out of the middle. I love the decision to set her in there. A quick ball over the net. A little bit of a low-hanging dig, but Easton able to get under it and set the middle in a quick situation.
We get a good shot at Nida here from our kid cam. It's the sophomores getting ready to send it away. Marian still not too excited about that call. Coach Vogel says, let's go. And now we are set. Anna Nida sending it off right now. And that one is long.
You know what's funny sometimes is that you go through all the hustle and all the fuss for something like that to happen.
And
You're
error.
like, oh, come on, but hey, that's the way the game of volleyball works.
Robbie Elliott told me that's the story of his life. That's what he told me about 10 minutes before we got on the air today. Here comes Marian. Cree Hollier blocked. Here she tries it again and blocked again. Samantha Monroe in there.
Denied up front by Monroe and Davison, not once, but twice. And what she did a really good job of the second time around was noticing that there was nobody else to set. So Monroe sticks out there on the outside on Hollier, and it once again elevates for the block.
Quinn was denied that time. Second time denied again. And that might be the block of the day. Mackenzie Andrews and Kaylin Easton firing up this crowd again. And Mercy now with a 2-point lead.
And Andrews and Easton giving it back, sticking up for their teammate Hollier, just throwing it right back in Marian's face.
Now the senior sending it, but she sends it long. So as you just said, a little momentum, you get things fired up immediately. Ball goes back the other way.
It's like pouring water over a match just immediately.
So here comes Joelle Mayo, the junior, serving. This one does go in bounds. Outside, Kate Kelzinski mistimed that one. And here comes London Gibson. Just kind of had to tap it over. Little hang time on that, and she got it to drop in. We are tied.
She's been fantastic for Marian, and she's done a really good job mixing up her shots, utilizing that short tip.
And there she is again, and how about that? Just kind of leaning backwards and gets it to go.
Sometimes caught just a little bit off balance on the quick overpass, but she's able to see the open spot on the court. And all it takes is just putting it in the easy spot sometimes.
And London's another player. We didn't know if she was going to be a go today.
Mm-hmm.
She is. She's healthy. And, man, she is playing. Outside to Quinn. Sends it over. Now to Kelzinski. How about the dump and how about the dig? That was Sophia Smith keeping it alive. Kelzinski again. Smith again. And this time, it's Andrews, Mackenzie Andrews. Name that Andrews. They're getting it done for Mercy.
When you get into a long rally like that, and then you are able in turn to set your middle, and she's able to deliver in the way that Andrews did, that is huge. You want to talk about big momentum plays, stuff like that, and it's so hard to defend.
Kate Berghoff serving now for Mercy. And oh my gosh, that was an incredible play there by Nelson. Kind of looked like a broken sequence. No problem. She takes care of business.
She's been doing a really good job of just taking care of the out-of-system balls here tonight, and that time gave her a little bit too much room down the line. That seam shot, theoretically in a perfect world, should not be slipping past your block.
So this is the rotation that's given Mercy trouble so far. Allie Davison back there serving. Oh, and Marian is about as fired up as they've been all day. They thought that ball was out of bounds right in front of them on their bench. It's called in, so it'll be side out Mercy. They could not believe it as that ball, they think, about hit them in the feet. Instead, we are tied at 13, and it's Kaylin Easton, the freshman, sending it away. Here comes Marian. And that is inbounds. Once again, Quinn Nelson, another kill.
She's making it work with the junk balls that you get. And as an outside, that's a lot of what you get. You have to manage the junk balls, the out of systems, the super high sets. Yeah, you get stuff in rhythm, but the more that you can manage that out of system game, it just takes you to a whole nother level.
Marian with a 1-point lead. This ball dumped. No lift on that one. Outside to Kelzinski. Ball right in the face of Murray.
Her ability to get up and carve outside of the block leaves me stunned. That is one of the sharpest cuts that I've ever seen. For her to get up and hit the off blocker right in the chest, 10 out of 10.
And once again, little momentum, big time play, service error. We go the other way, and we go to Ashlyn Pilon. The sophomore coming in with 34 aces. Looking for another one here, won't get it. Cree Hollier set up, put down. And hit 16-15.
Sorry, that one slipped right through the middle of that block. Ended up in that zone 6 area. That's when you gotta have that closed block scenario, but a great read by Hollier, picking up, noticing that the hole was there and taking advantage of it.
Ella Andrews, the Stanford commit with the serve. How about that incredible dig by Kelzinski. Here comes Marian. That ball is blocked. And again, it's Mackenzie Andrews, the sophomore, stepping up big time in this third set.
Great block. And for Andrews to be able to get out there and close quickly and get up at the same time as Hollier, and once again putting those hands nice far over the net. Great block by the pair.
Ella Andrews serving again, off the net and over. And that's going to be trouble for Mercy. Great job there, just kind of flipping it over. And it's now side out for Marian.
And Monroe, again, seeing that deep zone 1 shot. It's open. She just pushes that over, goes up. She was supposed to be running what looked like a B. Set was a little low and just puts it in a hard spot to defend.
Sophia Smith with the serve. Down the middle for Kelzinski. Ball kept alive. And again, down the middle, it's Quinn Nelson. Sophia Smith and her squad with a 2-point lead here in the third. We are tied at 1 set apiece. It's Andrews, and that one stays alive somehow. Doesn't that time. A two-hander from Mackenzie Andrews.
And I love the sportsmanship. Andrews making sure that everything's okay with Murray. Everything's good. We're all good over here, but heads up play.
And she's laughing
Andrews.
about it a little bit.
You got to laugh it off.
You eat one now and again.
Yeah. Welcome to volleyball.
Once again, Anna Nida serving. To the outside. We got a joust. And that's going to be Marian as that ball trickles out of bounds.
Murray had no other option in that situation but to tool the block, and she does it so effectively, pushing in to the hands of Easton and Andrews and just swiping right off of them.
The junior Madison Monroe with the serve, and great job keeping that alive by Mercy. Cree Holly sends it over. Here comes Quinn Nelson again. Hollier just has to send it over. Now Quinn Nelson, and it's kept alive by Mackenzie Andrews. Marian doesn't like it. That ball somehow by Andrews lands in bounds, but we're going to get official conference here.
I bet if you had a replay system on that and you could challenge like you could at the collegiate level, that this would be going Marian's way right now, because Mercy had a whole hand in the net. I mean, you saw that thing moving, and the refs didn't catch it. It's unfortunate at this point in time, but, you know, because there are no challenges. You can't hold up the green card like you can in college. So for Marian, you have to be able to work past this. You know it's super frustrating, but the key is just focusing on the next point at this rate. You're up 19-18. Just focus on getting point 20.
And that was another one that the entire team jumped off the bench when it happened. But I tell you what, we've talked about the atmosphere and we've talked about adrenaline and nerves and all that. Hey, for officials too, they know they are officiating a huge game. I mean, this is big for them as well. So it'll be Cree Hollier again. The senior heading to Austin Peay with the serve. Outside, Quinn Nelson. And again, Kate Kalzinski, and a great dig by Pilon. Nelson, how about that? She's got them all in her bag.
That's the chop shot where you get up almost like that. It's the no-looky cookie is what it was. She goes thumb up with it, notices that there's just nobody there to dig that ball, and on the out-of-system attack, phenomenal. And the defensive effort, too, from both sides. And again, Pilon setting things up with that dig was great.
Off the tape, still up. And that one hammered home. And I'll tell you what, Mackenzie Andrews is having a set here.
She is. She's going to work for Mercy right now, and I love how they're moving her around. They've got her running A's, B's, coming behind on the slides, and she's able to move the ball around on her attack, and that time drives it into deep zone one, kind of at the chest of Smith. It almost looked like she wanted to pull her hands down for a quick second, but couldn't get them down in time.
Here comes Nelson, who's had a game. She's been incredible, as has Kalzinski, who sends it over. Marian keeps it alive. Nelson dumps it. Great job by Mercy to keep it alive. This rally continues. Nelson couldn't get the timing on that one. This one is Ella Andrews. They are going nuts on the Mercy side.
Set your middles. That is what I've been preaching this whole game too, and for both teams and Ella Andrews in this position to be flying from pin to pin and then being able to get off the net, transition to be an option as an attacker and make something out of that play was great.
We have another conference here. Are they saying she cuffed it and kind of threw it down?
Yeah, but it's a fine line. You typically, as long as the ball's in front of your head and you're not literally grabbing it and throwing it, you'll be all right. If you do that when the ball's behind your head, that's when you're going to get called for.
Well, either way, we are tied 20-20 here in the third as we are tied at one set apiece. At Lawrence Technological University, your vision of competing in scholarship-level collegiate athletics can be your reality. LTU offers varsity sports for men and women while studying for a world-class undergraduate degree. Scholarships are available at LTURecruitYourself.com. So Marian obviously kind of frustrated with a few of the calls here, especially in this set. If you're Coach Cook, she's fired up as well, but how do you calm your team down?
You just have to tell them it's 1 point at a time, and it starts with the pass. Let's get a good pass, be able to run all of our options, and right now Davison is in the front row, so they only have Gibson and Nelson up there. So if I was Marian, I'd spread this out. I'd have Gibson run on the slide and then keep Nelson obviously on the outside or even move her in as a 32. But check out what Mercy's doing defensively. They're starting to play rotational, so Hollier is coming down to the line because that's where Nelson has gotten them in the past. And then a missed serve right there gives the ball back. Again, that's that next point mentality. And again, look who's on the service line.
And
this is exactly who you want back there in this situation. The one who's been getting it done.
1 point lead, only 4 points to go, and you have Allie Davison back there serving. Here's Kate Kalzinski. That ball is hit and flies into the bench. We are now even at 21. I believe that's the first time so far in this game. Davison one and done.
Yeah, and Kalzinski just does a really good job of getting the top of the block there, going high hands off of it. And for Mercy to get the side out right away on Davison's serve is huge.
Easton with the serve now. Over to the outside. Ball is kept alive. Sent out to Kalzinski. There she is again.
Now you're starting to wake up one of your go-to players. She's been a little quiet throughout the first couple of sets, but then you give her the ball back to back and she's getting things done, attacking that trail hand of Gibson. She's really playing around with Gibson's hands right now.
Marian now down a point. Dumped over top. This ball is kept alive. Incredible effort there by Easton but it's going to be a point, and we are once again tied up at 22 apiece.
I think Marian's done a good job of utilizing a lot of off-speed in different scenarios throughout the first two sets and even into the third, really mixing up their shots, throwing in those tips.
Quinn Nelson fires a rocket over the net. Marian trying to move back on top. It's Nelson again from the middle. To the outside, Kelzinski kept alive by Nelson. This time it's Ella Andrews firing it in. They're not going to be able to return it.
Right now, there's no answer for what Ella Andrews is doing, making that the tip that she's throwing. It just comes at such an awkward angle, and it's not like a typical hit from a middle that you're kind of waiting for. So and it's working. You know, you're not going to stop doing it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they're doing a really good job of utilizing their middles late in the rallies as well.
Hey, just a reminder that our next Game Time Live broadcast is a Macomb area football clash between Dakota and Sterling Heights. Stevenson, Sean Belizean, and Grant Perry, along with some lady named Patty. They're going to be on the call. It's Friday, 7 o'clock on the State Champs YouTube channel and Local 4+. Those guys do a great job. Game Time Live, week number 4 for the high school football season. Almost halfway done already with the regular season.
It's crazy. It feels like it's going by so fast.
We thank you for being here with us. Game Time Live volleyball matchup. Kate Kelzinski on the serve. This one somehow found its way through the rafters, touched nothing. Cree Hollier hit it back over for the kill, but we've got a stoppage. Don't know exactly why the whistle was blown there, but it is still Mercy with it, and they have a chance to win the set right here. Cree Hollier, and she does. After dropping the first frame, Farmington Hills Mercy has come back to win both sets 2 and 3, 25-22.
And that was the best volleyball that we've seen from both sides so far tonight. The blocking has stepped itself up. The service pressure has stepped itself up a notch. And so has the attackers, changing to different points of attack and finding just open spots and playing really smart, mixing in a lot of off-speed. That was a fun volleyball set to watch. I'm excited to see what the fourth set has in store. That was a big, big, big win for Mercy. That's one that could really change the tides here.
Mercy has a 2-1 lead. We'll have set 4 right after this.
From our very first breath, curiosity is why we question everything through barrages of whys and how comes. It now needs the tools to will its vision into existence. Tools that will forever allow curiosity to obscure the line between technology and magic. Be curious. Make magic. Lawrence Technological University.
Every high school sporting event in the state of Michigan has one thing in common: officials. Every game, every meet, every match. Without officials, there'd be no touchdowns, no three-pointers, no face-offs. Without officials, there'd be no games. Officiating is a great way to give back to your community and stay involved with the sports you love. And officials are needed now more than ever, because without officials, it's just practice.
If playing college sports is your dream, don't wait for a college coach to find you. Recruit yourself. At Lawrence Tech, we're looking for student athletes. LTU competes in the NAIA with 24 varsity sports and athletic scholarships. Explore new degree programs like sport management, where sports meets cutting-edge education. Visit LTURecruitYourself.com and just fill out the questionnaire. It's that easy. Lawrence Technological University. Be curious. Make magic.
Welcome back to Game Time Live here on the State Champs Sports Network. We've got a doozy heading into set number 4. The Mercy Marlins have come back. They lead Marian 2-1 heading into the 4th set. Ryan Slocum here with you alongside Patty Cesarini. And Patty, the Andrewses were incredible in that 3rd frame.
Yeah, they might have really been the difference maker for Mercy here, just being able to establish your middles and get them up and running. Again, changing that different point of attack. We've seen A's, B's, slides, moving them around. It was really good volleyball.
And they're both out there right now for Farmington Hills Mercy. It's Mackenzie Andrews, number 12, Ella Andrews, the Stanford commit. Didn't know if she would play in this game. She is out there. She's been injured, and she has made her presence felt. She is number 13 for Mercy. Both teams wearing black jerseys. It's Mercy with the yellow numbers, blue numbers for Marian if you're just joining us. Marian really dominant in the first set. They went up 8-0 out of the gate. They win 25-14, but it's been a different story in the second two. Both won by Mercy, 25-22. And here they are, Kate Berghoff, the freshman, serving as her Marlins are looking to win this thing. Great start.
Great serve, just attacking both of those pin passers right now between Nelson and Smith. You're going to have to force them to communicate, and now you're going to see Smith taking a step back out of serve receive in this scenario.
Tough one there, but how about the dump? Great job. Allie Davison just kind of turns and drops it over.
Yeah, being really strong with the volleyball, getting up, slamming that ball over, and it just looked like Kelzinski was caught a little bit off timing.
Davison serves it away, and that ball is going to be out of bounds. She, and that rotation is really what's been doing it for Marian today, but now 2 in a row. 1 and done. Side out now for the Marlins of Mercy High School. Came in ranked 5th in our state champs poll this week. Marian keeps it alive. And now it's Mercy. Kate Kalzinski fires it over. Outside, Quinn Nelson has it blocked. But that ball is still alive, and once again, we've seen it a few times now. Ella Andrews, right there in the middle, knocks it down.
And again, you see Marian looking for that lift call, but you're not going to get it at this point. And a great dig out of the block by Pilon as Nelson got blocked there. And what the shot that she has open right now is in zone 6 again, because Mercy's playing that rotational defense.
Outside to Sophia Smith. That she is stopped. Kelzinski is not. And once again, the Fish are fired up. They have a 4-1 lead, and it seems like whichever squad has had the serve first has opened up quite a nice lead out of the gate. Marlins have done that here. Kaylin Easton. And that is an ace. Make it 5-1. Timeout for the Mustangs as they find themselves down with their backs against the wall. Down 2-1.
Marian coming out just a little flat, and that's why I said in the last set, Whoever won that is going to have a lot of momentum going into the fourth. It really has the capabilities to be the determining factor. They just have to keep a little bit more pep in their step. You could send this to a fifth set. Just come out, especially out of this timeout, be strong and be confident.
Michigan Elite Volleyball Academy is our presenting sponsor for the State Champs Volleyball Player of the Year Award. Consistency develops players at the highest levels of amateur volleyball. For more, please visit MIElite.com. You can also vote for the top 10 right now at StateChampsNetwork.com. You know, Kaylin Easton is serving here, and we talked about it at the top. How about a freshman stepping in and replacing the National Player of the Year, Campbell Flynn? She's done a great job today.
Yeah, and she's got some big shoes to fill, but she's showing what she's got here tonight.
Home team trying to get back in it. Sophia Smith does just that. She gets the point in the side out for Marian. It'll be Quinn Nelson stepping back, looking to cut into this lead.
And those roll shots, again, that off-speed worked really well for Marian, so going back to it, targeting that donut area.
Ella Andrews, once again, she's been pretty much unstoppable here in the second half of this matchup.
She has, and that time she was really able to connect and put a big swing on the ball, gets the deflection off the blocker's hands, and gets the ball back in the service line for Mercy.
Kate Kalzinski now serving. Sophia Smith has to drop it over. Outside, Cree Hollier. It'll be Smith this time. Marlins keep it alive. Ella is stopped this time. Now it's London Gibson, but again, we got a joust. How about that shot? And it is in. Cecilia Murray.
Nice little sharp cross, goes thumb down with it, and that time Berghoff not far enough outside the block on that line to pick up the dig.
Ashlyn Pilon, the libero, with the serve. Blocked right at the net. Once again, it is Murray, and it is Samantha Monroe. The sophomore, Pilon. And she will pick up an ace.
And just like that, Marian's within one here. All it took was one play. Again, coming out of that timeout with a lot more fire, confidence in them, and you can see the difference with them on the court right now.
Mercy trying to do something about it. Great dig by Pilon in the middle. How about another great dig over there? It is Kaylin Easton getting down there, sticks out the left paw, keeps it alive, and she gets the side out for the Marlins.
Got to do whatever you can to keep that ball from hitting the floor, and that time Monroe just wasn't ready for the quick dig right off the net.
Ella Andrews steps back and serves it away. Now down the middle. Outside, Hollier. Again in the middle. Kept alive. Sydney Spates did it that time. Now to the outside. Hammered home. Sophia Smith.
Smith threading that needle down the line. If you give her just enough and that ball makes it all the way out to the pin, she's going to take advantage of it, and she sure did.
Coach told us she hits the junk out of the ball, and we saw it right there. Here she is on the serve. Off the net, drops in just out of the diving reach of Hollier. And we are tied at 7 now.
Those drop serves, those ones that hit the tape, those are lethal, and you saw Andrew say, oh, my bad. Like, she probably should have taken that given that it was falling off the tape like that.
Here's Hollier. Great dig by Smith. Blocked at the net. Marian keeps it. It's Smith. doing a little bit of everything right now. She is giving the Mustangs the lead. That time, just not enough. So back the other way, side out for the Fish. It'll be Ananida. We are tied at 8. Mercy trying to put this thing away. They won all 3 meetings between these two teams a year ago. Tough one there. As that ball just kind of got away, and Cree Hollier said, no, ma'am, I'm going to knock this back over at you.
You know, throughout this whole match so far, Mercy has really dominated a lot of the net play. All of those jousts, all that stuff where it's like you have to get to the ball first, Mercy's done a really good job at.
That one goes off the hands of Berghoff, and we are tied at 9 again. Well, you know, and Coach Cook talked to us about that. He said they're a lot bigger. They're a lot bigger up front, and you're seeing it now, especially with Ella Andrews back in the lineup. She helps out a little bit.
Yep, she'll give you an extra bit of some size, but both of these teams very different from what they were last year.
Great job there, just kind of dumped over by Quinn Nelson.
Smart play. She even juked me out a little bit for a quick second. I didn't know where she was going to go with that. I thought she was going to try and slam it down, but just takes the easy shot into zone 2 with a little dump.
Mercy with a little trouble here. They're just going to have to send it over. And look at that, hammered down, but a great dig goes long, but it's Quinn Nelson. You're seeing why Coach said she's hitting like Ava Brizard, just a sophomore.
Great swing, she pulls her inside on a 32. She sees that there's a hole in the block and just blasts right through it.
Trouble with that serve again. Kelzinski, great job though from the back. And once again, Nelson, this time, just drops it over the net. Another point for the Mustangs, just like that. The home team with a 3-point lead.
And now they don't have much of an answer for it, but that's where that rotational defense comes into play, where your right back needs to step up and take the short ball. You saw that they were there, but it was just like the split-second hesitation. You've got to go for it, and you've got to take it. That's why you're there.
So Quinn Nelson waking up here, as is Sophia Smith. And they've got the Mustangs up 3. Now, last season, Mercy and Marian met on the court. Mercy controlled the match from start to finish, sweeping in 3 sets, 25-14, 25-15, and 25-21. We had it all covered right here on Game Time Live with our Miss Volleyball, Campbell Flynn, who helped her team achieve victory, and she is now taking her talents to Nebraska. The Gatorade National Player of the Year, Campbell Flynn. And that one goes into the net, so it'll be side out for the Marlins. That was an exciting time over there at Mercy for that one. The first of their 3 matchups last year. Cree Hollier with the serve. This time, Nelson struggling a little bit, but that was kind of, maybe should have let that serve go.
Maybe should have let it go, and then a great serve, you know, pushing everyone deep onto that back line, and that's a hard ball for Nelson to really get a good swing on because it's coming over your shoulder. She dropped her elbow, and that's why you see it going to the net. But then there you go. They got a gimme. They get the ball back on an easy one off a service error.
So it'll be Joelle Mayo, the junior, back to serve. Has her team up 2. Outside to Kelzinski. Nothing Mayo can do about that one. Hammered home by the junior.
Great run, all set up by Berghoff's phenomenal 3-point pass. Puts it right in the hands of Easton, and she's able to put the ball wherever she wants. Who does she go to? Kelzinski on the outside.
But once again, serve goes long. That time by the freshman Berghoff. So it will be Allie Davison. Began this game with a number of great serves, looking to do it again. Not going to happen because this one slammed down by Ella Andrews again.
Different look for Andrews now on the outside. So we've seen her swing on the right side this game, on the outside, and also in the middle. And that time hits a really, really sharp ball, uses her height to her advantage.
And how much trouble is that when she's moving all over the front line?
You just makes it harder for your blockers to pay attention to where all your hitters are.
This time it's Kelzinski. Stopped by Pilon. This time, Quinn Nelson. But no.
You saw Nelson again trying to chop that one down the line, cut it just a little bit too hard and into the antenna.
Easton, great dig there by Pilon. And this time, Nelson going for it again, but no, another block by Ella Andrews.
And that serve, exactly where she placed it, was so smart. That short serve into zone 2, it completely takes Davis London off her runway, and she can't get there on the slide. They have one other option in that scenario, and the block was right there.
Outside to London, but that one is way long. And just like that now, the game of runs continues. It is Mercy up to 16-14. The freshman setter, Kaylin Easton. Marian looking to slow this down. Sophia Smith. Now back to Kate Kelzinski. And she went straight up, straight down. Mercy fired up again.
What a beauty of a swing. Again, a tight out of system set. And Kelzinski works, gets her feet there, and just tools right off the block.
Three-point lead for Easton. Marian trying to slow him down, but it's not going to happen. How about the ace for the freshman? 4-point lead now. And we've got a timeout. The momentum has shifted. Mercy on top of Marian, 18-14. Once again, Andrews and Kelzinski doing a lot of work here in the last few points.
Absolutely, just really being smart and being really aggressive, Mercy, in this set. And the ability to just utilize the block in any way that you can and just, again, scrap for points. They've looked really strong so far throughout this set, but don't count Marian out. They're only down 4 points. This was a great time to call a timeout. Again, get your troops, get them reset a little bit, settle them in. It starts with a pass and then put a ball away. And who better to go to than to the one who's been getting it done so far throughout this entire match for you guys with her last rotation in the front row, and that's going to be Quinn Nelson.
I was going to say, it's all about the pass. How about the freshman QB over here for Mercy? Setting up her girls for a 4-point lead. Looking to close this out in the fourth set. Here comes Marian. Sophia Smith. Now Kelzinski sends it over. Again, dropped over. Mercy keeps it alive. Kelzinski, and it is long.
Just a little long. The set pushed a little too far outside the antenna. Really quick set, too. You saw Kelzinski really have to arch all the way back to try and get a hand on that. Just got the back of the ball a little bit too much.
So Quinn Nelson steps back for the serve. It's away. Ella Andrews again. And that's going to be a point for Mercy. A lift called on Marian. Ella Andrews, as this match has gone on, she has gotten more and more comfortable now back in mid-season form. The senior heading to Stanford. Her junior teammate steps back to serve. Kate Kelzinski headed to Ohio State. This one tipped over. That's Sydney Spates. Another big-time sophomore for these Marlins. They have now opened up their biggest lead of the fourth, 20-15. Over to Smith. Ball kept alive by Marian. Kelzinski from the middle. Again, kept alive by Mercy. And there's that shot again from Andrews coming across the middle. Marian does not like it. They finally got the call.
In that time, I will say I did notice because the ball was a little bit behind her head. It's a different ball game. If you keep the volleyball and you throw it out in front of you, you'll be all right. You'll get away with it. Behind you, not going to work.
Cocking back a little too far with that arm. Well, and that is called out of bounds. We saw the jumping ability there from Cree Hollier. Literally jumped out of the gym that time.
What a swing.
And put it 6 feet under, but it was wide. Ashlyn Pilon now with the serve. That'll work. It's an ace, and it's needed.
And Pilon capitalizing on the miscommunication between Berghoff and Hollier, splits them right down the middle.
That 5-point lead now cut to 2. Mercy Volleyball, a legacy of power and pride. They won it all in 2019, returned to the top in 2023, capturing the Division I state title. 2 titles in the last 6 years, proving Mercy has won their fair share of state crowns. Yeah, we talked about it. Just incredible volleyball played in the last 6 years, especially between these two teams. Told you just a second ago as we take a look at it, the state title 2019 and 2023. Well, all Marian did was win the 3 in the middle of those. Not too bad. Both teams hoping to get back there again this year. Both were, coincidentally enough, taken out by Northville last year, who went on to win the Division I state title. Here comes Marian, down 2. Down the middle, this time it's blocked, but Mercy stays with it. Ball still alive, it's Smith. And now Hollier. How crazy is it when you can hang that long in the air? You don't know if she's gonna hammer it home or just dump it because she's just kind of gliding.
And she goes in with the off speed, gives it just enough to put it exactly where it needs to be in that short kind of zone 2 over the top of the block. And gives her team the ball back.
Ella Andrews with the serve, but it goes long. So it goes back to the Stangs, down 2. Sophia Smith, the junior, looking to even this game up, keep her team alive, down a set in the 4th. Great serve there. Off the shoulder, Smith's fired up. It's 21-20.
That's a big ace, and that time just caught. It was super fast, quick serve, and caught Kelzinski just right in the chest. Didn't have time to open that hip.
Hollier sends it over. Here come the Mustangs, down the middle, and it's down. Cecilia Murray. We are tied at 21.
How about running Murray on a quick attack? You know, she's so versatile in what she does. She's a middle blocker and an outside. Great heads up to just run her on something quick in the middle, catch Mercy off guard.
There's Hollier again, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Nope.
Puts it down right in the middle. Pilon couldn't get there. That thing was moving 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, moving a little too fast, and that's one where your block is going to need to pick it up, but Hollier does a good job of noticing that hole, takes advantage of it, puts the ball away on a big, big swing.
Mercy up a point. Here comes Marian, looking to even it. They will. Murray again.
And they give it back to Murray, this time on the outside, and we are going kill for kill at the end of the fourth set here.
Wouldn't expect any less between two top 5 teams, 2 state title contenders. Neck and neck again. That's Hollier. Mustang staying with it. The block. Again, Mackenzie Andrews checks back in, goes right to work.
Andrews and Easton do a really good job of just waiting on the out-of-system set, so they're pausing on the block, time it up perfectly, and that time Nelson a little bit early. She's hitting on her way down, and a great block by Mercy.
To the outside, Quinn Nelson with the response. She's had one all night, another one here when they need it. Tied at 23, set number 4.
And that just goes to show how much trust that they have in Nelson to just do what she does best. She gets blocked on the previous play. They give it right back to her, and she gets the kill.
Over to the other side, Kate Kalsinski.
You want to talk about filling some shoes? That right there is something that I have seen Campbell Flynn do time and time again. That pass was all the way on the right side of the net. Easton able to get there, get her hands on the ball, push it out all the way to the other pin to Kalsinski. Beautiful set.
And here comes Catherine Kukta for the first time, serving for the win. Marian keeps it alive. Nelson, this one going off the hands of Holliday, and 24-24.
High swing off the hands that just drives the ball deep into the court. What a swing, but great hustle play nonetheless by Mercy.
So it will be Allie Davison with the serve. Mackenzie Andrews has stepped off the court. Nelson finds a hole. Marian stays alive. This has been an incredible set.
It has been. I mean, wow. This is, again, when we talk about a rivalry game, this is everything that you're expecting to see here.
Davison, Hollier with the dig, over to Kalsinski. She ties it back up. Back and forth they go.
She's one where you want to keep feeding her the ball right now. She's on fire. Keep feeding Kalsinski. And right now, it's a battle of the outsides. That's what I feel like the end of this set has really come to. And right now, it's Kalsinski and Nelson.
And now it's the freshman, Easton, serving to put Mercy back on top. They go to the outside again. Ball kept alive by Mercy. Here's Kalsinski. Sophia Smith. Dig by Berghoff. Kalsinski kept alive by Pilon. And the block. The senior. Ella Andrews.
To end a play on a block like that, oh my goodness. What a rally. And I've got to shout out Pilon for that dig. That was insane, but a great block by Mercy to finish it.
They go to the outside again, and that ball is down. No! Out of bounds! Marian can't believe it! Mercy wins! 3 sets to 1, taking the fourth, 27-25.
Wow. Wow. It has been a long time since I've seen a good high school volleyball match like that. And that was exciting. That was fun to watch. Again, the adjustments that were made on both sides throughout the entire game. And it could have gone either way. That's the thing. It really could have gone either way in the third set and in the fourth set. But I think what a lot of it goes back to is a lot of that fight that happened in the third set. But man, I'm telling you, Marian could have had this fourth set too. Just an unfortunate call to end the game for them.
Incredible. Mercy comes back after dropping the first frame to win it 3-1. We will have more, an interview with our player of the game coming up.
Never mind.
Coming up in a second, I believe. Thought we were going to go to break, Patty, but let's talk about it. How about that first set won by Marian? Big time, 8-0 out of the gate, only to have Mercy come back and win it 3-1. Our Robbie Elliott is down on the court, and he has the interview with our player of the match.
All right, I'm here with Kate Kalzinski. Kate, first off, let's just take a step back from all the chaos. How fun was that?
That was amazing. I mean, we've been preparing for that game since the beginning of the season, and we had our goals coming in, and we executed, and I'm really proud of us.
All right, let's take it back to the first set. Kind of things started not how you guys envisioned. How did you stay composed, and what was the message from kind of keep you guys in it?
We really believed in each other. Like, we just looked each other in the eye. We're like, we got this. Like, just a little bit of nerves, and yeah, we executed. I'm really proud of us.
Talk about your performance a little bit. I mean, you were dominant on the court. What was working?
I'm really proud of my setter. Like, she was the whole reason that was possible. Like, we composed ourselves when we passed. Like, the coaching staff was supportive. Like, I'm just so proud of us. Like, we really pulled it together.
Congratulations, Kate.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Hey, thanks, Robbie. And Patty, yeah, what changed there in the final three frames? Because 8-0 out of the gate in the first. Marian goes on to win 25-14, and then the final three were neck and neck, and obviously 27-25 in the end. But what did you see that Mercy changed there, and how did they turn things around after that slow start?
Well, in the first set, Mercy simply could not pass out of serve receive, and that was the biggest problem for them. They couldn't run their middles. They're running their pins on out-of-system stuff. There was no flow. There was no rhythm. And then you saw them throughout the game and into each set get more and more comfortable with their serve receive. Now you see them start to run both the Andrews up the middle. They're running those women. And then what that does is open things up for your pins, and just like how you saw Kalzinski, she starts getting kill after kill. She's getting really good contacts as the set goes on, and ultimately leads this team to a victory. And the blocking for Mercy stepped up completely, and the defensive adjustment, and this is the last thing I'll say, the defensive adjustment to start playing rotational on their outsides was a big-time difference maker in this set. It allowed them to get so many more digs off of Marian's attackers.
Great to have Ella Andrews back in there as well. She made her presence felt. The Andrews were getting it done. The entire Mercy Marlins team getting it done. They take down their rivals one more time. It is Mercy over Marian. For Patty Cesarini, I'm Ryan Slocum. And for our entire crew, thanks so much for watching Game Time Live right here on the State Champs Sports Network. We'll see you Friday night for that Macomb Game of the Week.
State Champs Game Time Live is presented by Lawrence Technological University. State Champs Game Time Live is also brought to you by the Michigan Elite Volleyball Academy, the Michigan Army National Guard, and the Michigan High School Athletic Association.